It is not going to be the same. It is different. Kwa hivyo ni lazima tujipange tukiangalia tunaenda wapi kule mbele, because in 2027 the negotiating arrangement is different.
Yes, it is now very clear that Musalia Mudavadi is gearing up to be the Deputy President of Kenya in 2027. We all remember, leading towards the 2022 general election, when Musalia Mudavadi joined Kenya Kwanza at the tail end, many people thought that he was going to be picked as the deputy of William RUTO. Okay? And here William RUTO exercised a lot of play in politics when he decided to pick a running mate in Mountain Kenya, because Mountain Kenya was empty, okay, and it has one of the largest vote basket, and that made him win the presidency. And I think one of the reasons as to why Musalia Mudavadi was left, despite being one of the people in Kenya Kwanza with the longest experience, but also one of the people who has ever attained the highest office in the group, he was dropped. And I think he was promised to be deputy in 2027. So in this episode, I've come to talk about the odds of Musalia Mudavadi being the deputy president of William RUTO, show you the insight as to why I think he can be or he cannot be the deputy president, but most importantly, the study materials we can learn from the politics of our nation. But before I do this, I want to let you know that if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. If geopolitics and economics is what you want, this will be definitely the right channel for you to subscribe to. So a few days back, Musalia Mudavadi came out and made it clear that in 2027, there will be an alignment, which will be different from the one in place right now. We all know that Musalia Mudavadi even agreed to fold his ANC party to join Kenya Kwanza. And I think that was the best decision to be made by him, because even with ANC, he has less members of parliament, he has a less impact. In fact, he just wants holding ANC when you're in government is a bad decision. Okay, so he came out to say that he's joining Kenya Kwanza.
Tulipoanza haya maneno ya maja, mnakumbuka nilikuwa nikisema tuko kwa coalition, na hiyo coalition ina mawe tatu. Waanzilishi wa coalition walikuwa UDA, ANC na Ford Kenya. Na nikasema tukikaribia 2027, mazingara ya siasa ambayo yalikuweko 2022 yatakuwa yamebadilika tukifika 2027.
But that is not the news. A few days back, he came out to announce that there will be a new realignment, hitting on being the possible running mate of William RUTO. And I've come to dissect this to show you if the odds are possible. Before I tell you whether the odds are possible or not, I want to give you the tape when Musalia Mudavadi was hitting on this. Here is the tape.
It is not going to be the same. It is different. Kwa hivyo ni lazima tujipange tukiangalia tunaenda wapi kule mbele, because in 2027 the negotiating arrangement is different. It is not the same. It is different.
That is Musalia Mudavadi. There is no doubt that Musalia Mudavadi, he has a lot of experience. He has a lot of ROI. He can be in any office. However, in the politics of Kenya, sometimes competence is not the one which is considered alone. In fact, the biggest determinant of who holds which office in Kenya is the community or tribe he comes from. And I'm going to give you a clear example. I don't think that William Ruto can pick Musalia Mudavadi as running mate in 2027. And I'm going to give you examples, very many examples. One, the reason as to why Musalia Mudavadi was not even picked in 2021, despite being being with the highest experience, is one, Musalia Mudavadi has a disadvantage of coming from the minority of the Luhya nation. Because the Luhya nation has Malagoris, okay, and Bukusu. Bukusu almost make 90% of the Luhya nation. Okay, so by picking Mudavadi, a minority in the Luhya nation, it will not be one of the strategic decisions to make if you want the vote basket of the Luhyas. It is the reason as to why even Raila Amolo Odinga used not to pick Musalia Mudavadi, yet the Luhya nation have the second biggest vote basket, because Mudavadi comes from the minority of the Luhya. That disadvantaged him. In fact, the person who is on the forefront, who comes from the Bukusu, that is Wetangula, he doesn't have presidential ambitions, at least aggressive presidential ambitions. So that disadvantaged him. Secondly, to show you that tribe really matters, in 2022, when Ruto was going to pick a running mate in Mountain Kenya, he decided not to pick Kithure Kindiki. In fact, Kithure Kindiki ticked all the boxes to be the deputy president. That's the truth. He was a senator, he was a speaker, a lawyer in 2007 case, he has the Arua, he has the understanding. I think the only thing where GACHAGUA beat Kindiki is the money, to show that tribe matters. But remember, even Kindiki comes from the minority of the Gema community, because the Gema community consists of Kikuyus, Embu, Meru, Tharaka-Nithi. So he comes from the minority. And when William Ruto picked GACHAGUA, I knew that he was going to win, and I knew William Ruto is a political genius. Because many of the people who never knew politics wanted him to pick Kithure Kindiki. But that would be a disadvantage, because Kikuyus also make almost 95% of the Gema votes. So by putting Kithure Kindiki, it would be a disadvantage. So that's why tribe matters. Secondly, Musalia Mudavadi is not a great fighter when it comes to politics. That highest office needs someone who can fight. Okay? I'll give you a clear example. When Mudavadi and Wetangula announced, I think, Buhungu before the 2022 general election, you remember they broke away from Raila. They wanted to hold Buhungu. When police came out to stop it, they also stopped. A fighter like Raila Amolo Odinga could not stop because the police has stopped him. He would move on to go to Buhungu. So it shows that Musalia Mudavadi isn't a great fighter when it comes to clinching the presidency, because the presidency is taken by fighters. So he doesn't have an element of fighting for the presidency. When the rubber meets the road, Musalia Mudavadi is not a fighter. Okay? Okay? So even in 2027, I don't think in the hearts of hearts that William Ruto can pick Musalia Mudavadi as his deputy. I don't think so, because William Ruto is a political genius. Even amidst these differences, I'm sure as day follows night that William Ruto is going to pick GACHAGUA. Because if you want to win, you cannot edit your winning formula, and the winning formula was GACHAGUA. You just leave him for you to have your second term. However, the difference is, if you want to edit your winning formula, it can backlash, because you are not sure that having Musalia Mudavadi as the deputy president, it can bring you the Luhya vote. It's the reason as to why even Raila Amolo Odinga would pick Kalonzo and get the Luhya vote for free. Okay? So a person who does not have a guarantee of bringing you even his county vote, because Vihiga, where Mudavadi comes from, senator is ODM, MP is ODM, governor is ODM. So you cannot pick such a person to be deputy. In fact, in the politics of Kenya, it will take a long time for a Kikuyu non to be a deputy president or a president, because Kikuyus, first of all, by virtue of occupying the highest office for the longest of years, they have an upper hand of clinching the presidency, but also their vote basket is big. Even a person who wants to win the presidency must either pick Kikuyu as his deputy. It is the reason as why even in 2022, Raila Amolo Odinga had to drop his longest friend, Kalonzo Musyoka, to get Martha Karua. And I think apart from the 2007 election, this is when Raila Amolo Odinga came close to winning the presidency. Because 2007 Raila won, like him or not. But the 2022 general election, he was close because he had a Kikuyu. In fact, there is no history in Kenya where a Kikuyu has not been president or deputy president, or at least the leading leader of opposition. So the odds of Musalia Mudavadi becoming the deputy of William Ruto is 0.0. Musalia Mudavadi is like dessert on the food. Is good when it comes to building the government, but it's not good to pick as a running mate because of those reasons. Of course, that's my opinion. Do drop me your comments by commenting about this. Thank you very much for listening in. If this is your first time on this YouTube channel, I implore you to subscribe, like, and comment so that you can be motivated to do more of such videos. I'll see you on another one. Peace.